Hey guys, I'm Phoenix here and welcome to Take on Mars. Now I'm trying to do something a little bit different here which should allow for more normalised audio. Technically. Maybe. But first of all, let's jump into the editor and I will show you exactly what I'm going to be doing. Now this is Take on Mars. This is a game that I've covered before and I felt that it was an interesting idea that had some rather poorly executed things in it, and that's not the one that I wanted to load. It's this one. So this is my survival map that I have not exactly created. That would suggest that it was rather more effort than that. This is the ptomaus crater. I may be completely mangling the spelling of that. The pronunciation of that. It's very, very dusty. So I've got pretty much the bare minimum that I would expect to be able to survive in a map like this. Now, this is not a game where you can just sort of spawn and punch trees and develop your survival like that. You do actually need certain things in play before you can get to the point where you can survive. You know, think Mark Watney in The Martian. He did actually have an awful lot to begin with. There was an awful lot of things that the writer had to ensure. That he had to make sure that Mark Watney was the sort of character to be able to survive, as well as things like the potatoes that NASA sent up and that sort of thing. So yeah, we've got 3 solar panels, a small ore drill, a power hub, a smattering of resource barrels, a couple of cables. Each of these carry 5 cables each, a pop tent, the small basic 3D printer, and of course the refinery, and that's just my spawn point. I'll be releasing this map on the workshop, so if you want to download it, feel free. And yeah, as I said, it's very, very dusty, this world. So let's now quit to menu, yep, and go into the game properly. So it's in scenarios, and it should be, yep, heavy weather and basic tools to survive. This is that one. And as I said, I will put it onto workshop. So if you want to have a play with the map, feel free. I haven't really done much. It's just, as I said, a smattering of very basic things that you'll need in order to survive this lovely wasteland. So first thing I'm going to do is set up my solar panels. Now, it's dusty, so I've got 3 of them. And as it's dusty, I'll also need to get the dust off them every so often as the dust builds up. And that's not an RP thing, that's something that you actually have to do in this game. You'll just get the dust off your solar panels so that they're working at its best, basically. Right, next thing, the power hub. So all I'm doing here, I'm using R and Alt to move the stuff around, and then click with the welding tool to place it down. I'll take this one next. All the power sockets I'm trying to get so that they're in line with one another, otherwise the cables will go all over the place anyway, so I want to try and mitigate as much of that as is possible. Something I did find out, actually, the 3D printer at the moment doesn't actually need any power to run, which is probably a bug on their part at the moment. I'm sure it'll be added in, as there is a power connection on the front. But as there is a power connection on the front, I will move it reasonably close to it, just in case an update comes and I then do actually need to plug them in. These are resource barrels, so one of them needs to go into there, and then 3 of them need to go into here. So that one that I put in the rock drill will gather the Mars rock, and then the stuff in the refinery, it will turn the moon rock into various useful things that you find in Mars rock, apparently. Right, so now for the fun part. These are cables, and they are big and they are very heavy to move. This is quite a nice feature. I like the idea that you actually have to pretty much roll this thing around to get the reel of cables close to where you need them to be. But as it gets lighter, as you get more and more cables off, it'll get a little bit easier to manage. No, come on. I don't think it's gonna. So let's unwind a cable, and then try and find the end of it. Come on. The end of it is down there. Let's just play it out. Ooh, God, come on. Ragdoll cables, don't you love them? That should be enough, so that now I can grab the end. Now this is the red end. The red end is your power connection end. So that one goes into your... that goes into the solar panel, and then the green end will go into either your object or into the power hub, which is over here. And has that got stuck in the world? Please don't say that's got stuck in the world. Yeah, it's got stuck in the world. It might sort itself out in a moment. There we go. And as always, I've got it the wrong way around. Let's just take that power hub out. Spin it around. Oh, come on. That's probably still the wrong way around. It kind of spun. Yeah, it's still the wrong way around. Kind of spun around really weirdly. Right. So now we can just plug that in. No. Need to put it in that one. For goodness sake. As I said, these cables, they do go everywhere. Something that I would quite like to see is some kind of cable management. Because you don't have that at the moment. You just kind of scatter your cables everywhere, which is a little bit of a problem, as you can see. They do go everywhere, and you've got very, very little control over where they're actually going. I'm going to plug it in here. I'm going to get my ore drill going. Like so. And then that's the green end. The green end needs to go into... I'll stick it into this one for now. And the red end can go into here. Yes, into here. No, I've grabbed it too far down. Right, there you go. So those are now those two modules are now plugged in. That's getting lots of moon rock for me. And grab another cable out. So my idea for this is to potentially have this as a bit of a series as I explore this survival game. It's a little bit more stable than it used to be. I'm now getting a reasonably stable 60, though that might be because my computer system is an awful lot better, as you may have... I can't remember if I've probably mentioned it a few times on the stream actually, but I've got a new computer now, so a little bit more grunt in CPU. So that might be why it's not stable, completely stable 60, but it is a lot better. So that's connected there, and then we just need to do the last one. So a few things have changed in this. As you can see, there is an entire resource system in here now. And the cables, I don't know if the cables were in when I did my video on it. But, yeah, the resource system is in and fully implemented. Even down to the point where the airlocks now do actually require oxygen for you to be able to use them properly. As I will show you with this pop tent, well, that's getting me lots of useful stuff. I'm going to put the pop tent down near where I've put my 3D printer. So this is the pop tent. As you can see, it's got a thing here that you can put your oxygen on, and if you get inside, you can cycle the airlock once you're inside, and then you can recharge your oxygen in the pop tent, which we're going to do now before I end this episode, and try and normalise all my audio and all that. So take the Mars rock off here, and we place it into the input on our refinery. Now we just need to yeah, there we go. So select the input, which is that one, and then we select our outputs, which are those three, and then hit process materials. That will now process whatever's in here into its component minerals, which is, just zoom in here a bit, silicon oxide, iron oxide and aluminium oxide. Now I am going to need some aluminium without the oxide, so let's place that back onto there, and if I grab the aluminium tank, which is that one, and if I place it onto there, I can also grab another barrel. Actually, no, I need two more, don't I? Yeah. What have I done? Done that wrong. Because those are, the front two are inputs and the rear two are outputs. So we need one on there, and then we need our iron oxide. Oh, sorry, yeah, grab one of those and put that in here. Right, and then, yep, so that's now turned that aluminium oxide canister into aluminium and oxygen. We can then use those component aspects to build things in the 3D printer. But I will just show you the oxygen, and then I will end this episode. So, wander over to the pop tent, because I do need to recharge my suit. Hold it in place so that, and then drop it into the blue outline, and then crawl in here. It's a bit of a tight fit. Close that. Sometimes, yeah, exterior safe. Sometimes you have to press the pressurised button, and sometimes you don't. But yeah, you can then just stick that in there. Don't think you need to do the helmet as well. And then you just wait. See, it's got those orange lights. When they turn green, that's then full of oxygen. And then you can go back out there and cause trouble. Hold on. Oh, what have I done? This is the other problem. You can grab hold of the pop tent from inside it. there's a few bugs. A few rather annoying bugs. Yes, right, so now we are free of grabbing hold of the pop tent from inside the pop tent. So yeah, with that, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.